All right, Shalom Israel, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Hamashiach, Malaki Bashai. That is to say, Yahweh, being named in the Heavenly Father, who the world will call God, and Yahweh Shai, being named His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. This is Brother Gasadi from WW3 Jersey, Philly, and through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, we diving in to the current events that's taking place right now in the world. Right? We're diving into the current events that's taking place right now in the world. If you don't know this, if you haven't, been looking on, X, Twitter, whatever the case may be, Instagram, so-called mainstream media, although they don't report on every single thing, it's a big deal on what just took place late last night around 8 p.m., 9 p.m. on Thursday, what is this? Thursday, June 12th. There was devastating attacks taking place to the Iranian command or chain of command. Their top political leaders were killed. Their top military leaders were killed. Massive attacks that took place all over Iran, spread over the western and eastern part of Iran. Their major city, the capital city, Tehran, it was attacked as well. This is a big deal that just took place. If you was waiting for a big sign in the sky to say this is World War III, then look no further. Look no further. For Israel to go hand in hand with America in attacking Iran, and we'll dive into it. We'll dive into, how this took place, exactly what it, entails, what should be next. But again, the world is at war. That's literally what World War III is. It's not a big decree that says, okay, we're all at war now, and now this is known as World War III. No, you have Iran. It's like you have Ukraine going to war against Russia with resources from both sides, whether it's the Eastern powers joining in with Russia, helping Russia out. It's the Western allies helping out Ukraine. Again, this world is at war. So there's no big sign in the sky that needs to be displayed for you to understand. Look, the world is at war. Right? There's military movement and operation between Taiwan and China. China being backed by the Eastern powers, which is what? Iran, North Korea, Russia, and their allies. Taiwan being backed by who? America and the Western allies. So this is a big deal. So let's get right into it. Right? Let's get right into it. I do want to make this quick a point. If you're not already following Watchmen for Israel on Twitter, this is our only Instagram. I say Instagram. This is our only X Twitter account, right? Whether you still want to call it Twitter or if you want to call it X, that's the new name of this, platform, whatever the case may be. It's at official WFI12. This is the only one. There's another one that was out there. We don't have access to that account. That is not us. We've had this account since March 2024, as you see right there on your screen. You can go ahead and you could follow the same people we follow to get the updates, but you might miss out on them. We're going to retweet those. We're going to try to make sure it's confirmed, and you can check these things out. So we've been reporting on things as they happen, on the hour, damn near. We still got work, we still got family, things of that nature, but we're doing what we could do through the spirit. So again, if you're not already following this account, you should follow this account. But let's get right into it. So let's check out this video real quick.
He's surrounded with. The leader of the country survived. What is the thinking on that in terms of the Ayatollah today? Who is he surrounded with? The number twos. But I guess if you're feeling like you're number two right now, you're still not very safe.
Yeah, I think Israel's goal was to decapitate Iran's military. They also killed the national security official who was leading the nuclear negotiations with the United States, Ali Shamkhani. The goal here for Israel was to destroy Iran's means of retaliation, but also to create the opportunity for others to be potentially promoted into their place. I think, as President Trump noted, maybe they will be less intransigent, less defiant, less provocative. But at this point, Israel tried everything they could, so did the United States, to bring a diplomatic resolution.
And that's a damn lie. That's a damn lie. And I'm going to expose and show you how that's a lie. Right? Of course they're going to say that. They're on national television. Fox News is a national network. Right? So they have to make that point, right? But let's go into it, though. Right? Let's go into it. So let's go back just a little bit. I'm going to go back just a little bit. I want to show exactly how all of this took place. Right? Starting from the top. So this is hours ago, right? Let's go back. Let's go back. Right? Bear with me. While we go back, there's a lot to cover. We're not going to cover every single detail. We're going to cover what we can cover. So first and foremost, I do want to put this out there that there were so-called diplomatic peace talks between America and Iran. They were expected to have another round of nuclear negotiation this upcoming Sunday, which I believe will be June the 15th. But of course, it actually just was confirmed, and I want to actually damn, I'm gonna have to scroll back again. I want to show this real quick. So it says Israeli officials, now this is from Bricks News, right? Trusted, reliable source. Israeli officials say Trump approved the attack on Iran and coordinated with U.S. So this attack was coordinated together with the Israelis. Amalek, the devils you see on your screen. They claim the reports of Trump blocking attacks were intentionally made to trick Iran. Let's see if we can get something else confirmed on that. Let's come down to Israeli officials. This is from disclose.tv, right? Another reliable source. Their source actually here is Axios, which is another source that's out there that you can check out. Israeli officials say Trump approved the Iran attack. Quote unquote, we had a clear U.S. green light. I mean, it is, we didn't need this. We didn't need them to come out here and say this, because why would these Israelis move and do their own thing without the backing of the so-called top, military that's out there right now? America. America's about to flex their military tomorrow on the Shabbat, June 14th. The 250 year to commemorate the U.S. Army. 250 years. Every major empire, they're only around for about 250 years, and we're approaching that march for America. It says, we had a clear green light, U.S. green light, adding reports of Trump restraining Israel were planned to deceive, while Trump and Netanyahu coordinated the attack in private. So this is what they saying. They put it right there in your face. Listen, look, our plan was to deceive you, to get you to think that this wasn't going to take place, and guess what? We had it to take place. These are true inbred devils. This is Psalm chapter 55, and I'm gonna start at verse. Man, this whole chapter is mighty, right? This whole chapter is mighty, but I want to get. I'm gonna start at verse 3. It says, because of the voice of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked, for they cast iniquity upon me, and in wrath they hate me. My heart is sore pain within me, and the terrors of death are fallen upon me. Fearfulness and trembling are come upon me, and horror had overwhelmed me. Reading on. It says, and I said, oh, that I had wings like a dove, for then will I fly away and be at rest. And we want to be at rest. Being in this land, there's no rest because of the oppression of the wicked. These devils that just put evil out on the earth, that oppress us, cast iniquity upon us. They hate us. They want to destroy us. They obviously don't give a damn about us. Now, we understand the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai and the judgment that the Most High has to bring forth. But for the average everyday brother or sister that's in this world, for the average everyday brother or sister that's not in this truth, that's over here in these lands, hey, these enemies, they want to go to nuclear war to destroy this world, and in their mind, for them to be able to escape in their underground bunkers or, reset the world under their complete regime. Now, if you didn't understand the will of Yahweh Bashim Yashai, then you wouldn't even know what is taking place. You would just be caught out there, be scared, be frightened. You won't understand that the Most High is bringing these nations to war so that you could be free. The Lord is destroying these nations so that you could be delivered. Nuclear war is going down, and fire is going to be brought on the earth so you could be tried through the fire and be a new ruler and governor and king and general on this earth under the will of Yahweh Bashim Yashai. This world has to be washed away and restarted, but only under the true order of Yahweh Bashim Yashai. Right? Now we know these are devils. And what do? They speak that devil tongue. This is how they get down. This Psalm chapter 58 and verse 3. It says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. So you see the deceit of Trump. Remember, if you was paying attention just a few weeks ago, it was talks that Trump and Netanyahu, the prime minister of the Israelis, they were against each other. Right? They were pretty much, they wasn't speaking. Trump couldn't really figure out what's going on. All of that was coordinated. If you really believe that, look, I don't know what's going on. Trump has to bow down and kiss the ring as all the other nations have to do. Amalek is in control. The Jewish man is running this. You go into your major cities, you got billboards saying stop Jew hate. What about the real Jew hate? You go into these cities and you can't even say a damn thing against Amalek. Or at least they don't want you to. But why are they always speaking against the so-called black and so-called Hispanic man over here in his land? They're deporting Northern Kingdom as we speak. They want to say they're immigrants, but they were in this land well before America. These Europeans came over to this land, these Edomites, these devils. And we're gonna make a separate video on the latest updates with this protest and all of that, right? But I wanted to bring that point out. So now you can see, where we're gonna go from here. So first off, let's get right into it. So, like I mentioned, late last night, you have the Israelis attacking Tehran, which is the capital city of Iran, right? It says the home of top political and military officials in Iran were targeted during tonight's strikes by Israel against the Iranian capital of Tehran. Trump was convening. The brother Amos, right? One of the chief leaders of WW3, as you see right here. Life as we know it will soon come to an end. World War III is right at the brink. America, Babylon, Lake of Fire, World War III. So we see Israel, they launched a preemptive strike on Iran, and Israel, or the state of Israel, declared a state of emergency. They prepared for a large-scale attack. They dubbed this operation the Strength of a Lion. The Strength of a Lion. Other reports say it's known as the Lion of Judah. So you see the destruction that took place. This was clearly precision. All the building wasn't attacked. They found what they needed to get. They got the guys. They got them down. Dozens of targets in Iran. Nuclear sites were also targeted. When they say nuclear, not that they have nuclear missiles officially, but unofficially, they might have been creating those nuclear missiles, and at these sites they have uranium, which is what Trump wants them to stop being able to enrich. Once uranium, which is one of the chief elements used for nuclear missiles and atomic missiles, you need what? You need uranium, right? You need uranium. So they wanted them to stop that. They said they're not going to stop it. Cool. So now you see these attacks took place. Now, initially, I want to show this real quick because this is kind of important on just the devil talk, right? This is from Joseph Hashbush, whoever you pronounce his name. It says top U.S. diplomat Marco Rubio says Israel took unilateral action against Iran, and he said, quote unquote, we are not involved in strikes against Iran, and our top priority is protecting American forces in the region. Israel advised us that they believed that action was necessary for its self-defense. Trump and the administration have taken all necessary steps to protect our forces and remain in close contact with our regional partners. Let me be clear, Iran should not target U.S. personnel or interests or personnel. So they're saying that they didn't have any involvement and that they did not assist in the attack. That was 13 hours ago. Fast forward, I just showed you they knew ahead of time. In fact, they coordinated the attack. Right? Another mighty leader, Yardan, he brought out, this is right after the blood moon that took place Wednesday night, the strawberry moon. See, the Most High showed the signs in the skies. Right? He tells us what's going to happen before it happens. If you're paying attention. This ain't Luke chapter 21 and verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. And you're seeing that happen right now. The sea and the waves roaring. What is the sea? Man is the sea. How do we know man is known as the sea in the scriptures? Let's go to Psalm chapter 144. So the sea and the waves are roaring, right? Psalm chapter 144, and I believe I want to get verse 6. It says, cast forth lightning and scatter them, shoot out thine arrows and destroy them. And that's what the Lord is doing. He's shooting out his arrows, launching it from Iran, launching it from Israel, launching it from America, launching it from, all over this place. Right? The Most High is not sending arrows directly out the sky. Big bow, he got a big bow that pops up in the sky, and he's launching off an arrow. These arrows are missiles. Arrows represent destruction of the missiles that the Most High is bringing forth on the earth, and he's destroying them. And David's seen it in his visions. The Lord gave David prophecies. David is a prophet. How else is he understanding the things that's going to happen in the earth? Verse 7, send thine hand from above, and it's not literal, that the Lord is literally going to stretch forth his hand and it's going to enter the atmosphere. And you're going to see a big arm reach out the sky. No, it just means that the Lord is going to send what? His hand, meaning his angels. Everything in his power. Yahweh Shai, being the right hand of the Most High. The Lord is going to send our deliverer from above. It says, rid me and deliver me out of great waters. Great waters is another word for a sea. Now, what are these great waters or the sea? It says from the hand of strange children. So the nations are known as the strange children. We're known as the Lord's children. A stranger is anyone that's outside of that subject matter. We're the subject. The Bible is about us. The earth is about us. Therefore, the strange children is all those that's not us. So let's go back to what we're reading. Well, we just read in Luke the 21st chapter that the Most High, he sends these signs, and the sea and the waves are roaring. Now, this is also at 8:55 p.m. Allegedly, the closest dominoes to the Pentagon, right, in D.C., was busier than usual, right? This is, I guess, if you want to make the connection that they knew already, hey, that's a point you could use right there. There's another report on that from another spot, but I mean, obviously they knew something was taking place. That's why they, sat in and pretty much sat at their damn round table, got some pizza. Hey, they was prepared for the next events that was taking place, which is all the decapitation strikes that was taking place on Iran from Israel. Now, I want to fast forward because there's a lot of information. Again, you can go back, check this out. Right? Go back, check this out. I want to show you this. So this is the power structure over in Iran. If you don't know, you have this man at the top. His name is Ali Khamenei, right? He's a supreme leader. the guy that's essentially their high priest, he acts with supreme authority as well as far as military and political structure over in Iran. But you have men underneath of him. Their armed forces general, you see him right there to the left. His name is Mohammed Bagheri. You also got another man. He's known as the Qatam O N Abiya, right, of the central headquarters. Underneath of him, you got someone known as the Law Enforcement Command. You got the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps, the head of that. You also have, this guy right here. He's you see him, right? I'm not going to keep pronouncing all these names. So everyone essentially underneath of this top guy, supreme leader Ali Khamenei, is all dead. Yeah. Essentially, this guy's dead. This guy's dead. This man, and a good amount of these other men that's underneath, are all officially and unofficially confirmed to be dead. And I'll show you that. Right? I'll show you that. So let's go back. So it says, as we await details on which Iranian officials were killed, here is a graphic I made a few years ago of the top Iranian military leadership. There are reports that Israel attacked or targeted several individuals on here, and it goes on. But I'm gonna show you exactly, who exactly is gone. So, and that's kind of what I was going into earlier. But here's an updated list of the Iranian political, military, and institutional high-value targets confirmed, eliminated, and reportedly targeted as of 10 a.m. EST. So right now it's 10:27, the time I'm recording this. So and whatever time you get this, these are the guys that's gone. As you see, the names are some of the same names I just showed you. Gone. Right? And I'm not going to pronounce these names. Right? Not again. But here you go. These guys are gone. Right? So there you have it. Now, allegedly, so Iran did retaliate. I want to go into that real quick. They did retaliate 11 hours ago. Iran's supreme leader, he's confirmed to still be alive. He's the man right there in the middle. Now he's seen a lot of a lot of his right hand mans. They all been dying. I mean, he's dead. He's dead. That man right there is dead. He's also dead. He's the leader of the IRGC. A lot of these guys are gone. I mean, they all dead. And these are just what happened just now. I mean, there was men last year that was killed. And if you remember, that's when they, started off the strikes against Israel. They did the largest ever attacks on the state of Israel as far as missile and drone attacks ever. And then they came to the table and they kind of cooled things down up until this point right here. So Iran does a lot of talking too. If you don't know that already, well, guess what? Now you know. Iran does a lot of talking. They say, look, they're gonna pay a heavy price. Blood has to be spilled. This and that, and we waiting for it. Now everything's at the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, so we know that it's all on the Lord's timing. We are indeed waiting for it, though. When the Most High wants to bring that judgment, and guess what? That judgment's going to happen. Just so you know, Iran is going to target the U.S., they're saying. They say that the attack has been carried out with full knowledge and support of the wicked rulers in the White House and the terrorist U.S. regime. This is what they're saying. So what they did was they sent off 100 drones toward Israel about 9 hours ago, around 2 a.m. Now, these drones, they have eventually arrived and entered the atmosphere, but U.S. and British fighter jets, they scrambled to intercept these Iranian drones that were heading towards Israel. So what is that telling you? They're showing you that not only is U.S. involved, but the U.K. is also involved. What the hell does this have to do with them? If this isn't a world at war. It's between Israel and Iran. Israel isn't a part of NATO. They're not a part of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Right? Let's show you that. Let's look up NATO. They're not a part of NATO, but I'm gonna prove that. You know, I don't want to be incorrect in understanding that's given. So let's just make sure that they're not a part of NATO. This is the 32 members of NATO, right? The official members. Albany, Belgium, Bulgaria, Canada, Croatia, Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Iceland, Italy. So this is in alphabetical order. There's no Israel or state of Israel. Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Montenegro, Netherlands, North Macedonia, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, Turkey, UK, US, no Israel. They're not even listed. Okay, they're listed in the Mediterranean dialogue, meaning countries that they dialogue with, but they're not a part of the actual NATO members. Because if I'm not mistaken, I was going to say Ukraine, they're not a part of the actual NATO members, meaning that if Article 5 was ever implemented, which entails that if one NATO member is attacked, then all NATO members have to help out and get up in that thing. They all attacked. I for one, one for all, or whatever, however you pronounce that. Ukraine is not a part of that, but they are known as the Enhanced Opportunities Partners. So they help each other out still, but they're not obligated to go to war as in the totality, if they don't want to. So that's what you have right there. So anyway, U.S. officially entered into that war. This is footage of the attack that took place last night in Tehran. All right, so you see that. Of course, Russia, an hour ago, they're saying this is a violation of the UN Charter. We'll see what happens. China says they want to help out and de-escalate this matter as well. We'll also see what happens. Trump being a devil.
To getting a deal.
Let's check it out.
Impediment. We have a meeting with Iran on Thursday, so we're going to wait till Thursday.
And what's the main impediment to getting a deal?
Well, they're just asking for things that you can't do. They don't want to give up what they have to give up. You know what that is. They seek.
Allegedly is the uranium, but maybe he's really saying something else, because these wars chiefly go over oil, right? Israel wants that oil. This oil connects China and Russia with Iran. They actually are partners. So this is China's oil just as well as Russia's oil. Well, oil is very important because it's a natural earth mineral that you actually need as a resource. Of course, to conduct a wicked demonic place like America, which needs all that.
Enrichment. We can't have enrichment. We want just the opposite. And so far, they're not there. I hate to say that because the alternative is a very, very dire one, but they're not there. They have given us their thoughts on the deal, and I said, it's just not acceptable.
This is the main topic for Prime Minister Netanyahu today when you spoke?
I would say, I don't know what else I can talk about. The weather.
Well, you can talk about
All right, so that's what you have right there. I wanted something else I saw. I want to dive into. Oh, there we go. So this is what Trump had tweeted out. What time he tweeted this thing out? This is on his own account. There's a little Truth Social. But anyway, this is what he said. He said, I gave Iran chances a chance to make a deal. I told them in the strongest words to quote unquote just do it. But no matter how hard they tried, no matter how close they got, they just couldn't get it done. I told them it would be much worse than anything they know, anticipated, or were told, but the United States makes the best and most lethal military equipment anywhere in the world by far, and that Israel has a lot of it and much more to come, and they know how to use it. Certain Iranian headliners spoke bravely, but they didn't know what was about to happen. They are all dead now, and it will only get worse. There has already been great death and destruction, but there is still time to make this slaughter, with the next already planned attacks being even more brutal, come to an end. Iran must make a deal before there is nothing left and save what was once known as the Iranian Empire. No more death, no more destruction. Just do it before it is too late. God bless you all. This is what the devil Trump had tweeted. Now, let me get a precept. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 13. It's Isaiah 13 verse 1. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. So this, when the Lord talks about a burden, it's really talking about, destruction that the Most High is going to bring forth. Affliction, adversity. What is the affliction and adversity coming to America? Nothing but destruction. Let's jump to verse 3. I've commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. Let's read on. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people. A tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the hosts of the battle. So the Lord is going to bring what? These nations to war. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. So this whole land is going to be destroyed, right? This whole land is going to be destroyed. Let me jump down. Verse 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. Now, who are the ancient Medes? This goes back to the Median Persian Empire under Cyrus, under Darius, under these different Artaxerxes, under these different leaders and rulers of the Persian regime, the Iranian, what is known as Iranian land now, right? But this is prophecy that the Lord is going to stir up that same spirit again from the kings of the east to do what? Do the same thing that happened to the ancient Babylon and to this modern day Babylon. So Iran will be a partaker, Russia will be a partaker, and they're going to destroy America. It says, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. So what happened with Sodom and Gomorrah? It was burned up. It was burned up. Sodom and Gomorrah, freak fest. Isn't there a freak fest going on right now in the month of June? Reading on. It says, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. Now, this is not actually talking about the real land of Babylon. This couldn't be, because the Lord said it would never be inhabited again. Ancient Babylon is actually chiefly located, Babylon was an empire, but it's chiefly located in the region of where Iraq is at today. And there's millions of people inhabiting Iraq. There's millions of people inhabiting that region that once was known as the Babylonian region or Babylonian Empire when they had conquered. Up until their demise in around 539 BC under the hand of Darius, Cyrus, destroying them. So this isn't literal in a sense that it was taking place during that time of the ancient Babylonians, but this is literal in a sense that this is prophecy that the Most High is going to destroy the new Babylon. Reading on. Actually, I believe that was the last point on that. So the Most High said these things are going to happen, and you seeing that spirit being stirred up. Now, yes, Iran, they're pretty much big into just talking, right? That's all they do, right? But at the same time, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yashai, it will be foolish to let this one slide and just walk away from it. Like, oh man, Iran, they always talking X, Y, and Z. No, you need to keep watch. You need to keep watch. Right? Iran says that Israel's daily attacks on its military and nuclear facilities on Friday were a declaration of war and called on the UN Security Council to act. I don't think Iran is going to let this one slide. If they let this slide, it's over with. Because what will happen next? There's no Only top leader that's left from this regime is their top leader, which is supreme leader. So if it's of the will of Yahweh Shem Yashai, we will see Iran actually make a move and actually do something this time. But with that, Most High willing was edified. Baba Kashah, Baba Kashah, Baba Kashah. Keep watch on these last days. Look at these different prophecies that's taking place. Subscribe or follow our X account. Most High willing, any latest updates, we can bring it to you on the hour, at the hour. As you see right here, the Prime Minister of Ukraine, or it's like the UK, is standing by these Israelis. They're standing by these Israelis. This is footage of the Israeli airstrike destroying a mobile missile launcher in Iran. Crazy work. It says historic operation in Iran currently strikes on the airport, both airports, the Maribag and the Bushra, however you pronounce that, where Iranian Air Force fighter jets are stationed. So things is really going down. They're breaking Iran's will to fight. Iran says it will continue its nuclear program despite the Israeli attacks. The Atomic Energy Organization of Iran is saying that radioactive leak was detected, allegedly. These are alleged reports. We're going to go back, confirm these things. If it be of the will of Yahweh Shem Yashai, things is about to continue to kick off on the earth. Be on the lookout for the next video I'm going to drop. Lord willing, you continue to keep watching these last days. Again, we want to give all honor and all glory to Yahweh Shem Yashai. Kwame Sharala, Shalom.